Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 Bomb Squad Awards Show. It's our third ever time doing this show. We used to call it the first annual, second annual show, and then, very predictably, after you call something annual right off the bat, we accidentally missed a year. I was busy and depressed last year, forgive me. I am your host and master of ceremony, Tanner Richard Kraft, and for this year's edition of the award show, I am joined by...
Hi, I'm Austin Zwiebelman. I played all the background extras in A Real Pain for the scenes where they're in Poland.
Well, that explains everything about that movie. Your fingerprints are all over it. Your grubby little fingerprints. Grubby. We love to see it, though. And yes, this year... tonight on the 2025 Bomb Squad Awards Show, we are celebrating the best in film of 2024. The presentation will be the same as it has been the past few years. I will be asking Austin, since it's just him today, 3 questions. The first question being, what do you think is going to win out of the nominees? Second question is, what do you think deserves to win or should win out of the nominees? And third question is, what is your personal favorite of this category, regardless if it was nominated or not? I, of course, cannot participate in the first question. I already know what won. I'm the one that counts all the ballots. But
yeah,
for everything else, Austin will get to answer the first question. So, Austin, how about you say, let's just get right into it now, huh?
I think that's a good idea.
With starting with Best Horror Movie, where the nominees are Nosferatu, I Saw the TV Glow, and The Substance. Austin, we'll start with you because we have to. The 3 questions. Will win, should win, favorite. Go.
I'm actually going to rebound this back at you very briefly. I would say this was a great year for horror. Would you say this was a great year for horror, Tanner?
100%. I think this will be reflected in the overall slate of the nominations. Nosferatu, I Saw the TV Glow, and The Substance were nominated well across the board other than just this category. And a lot of other fun stuff is around. So, yeah. It's been a great year for horror. I agree.
Yeah, if you could say 2019 was the year of the blockbuster, 2024 was like a horror renaissance. We had a lot of great stuff this year. But for my pick, this one's a rare triple threat. This movie is going to win, and it absolutely deserves to win, in my opinion. Coralie Farge's The Substance. Move over, Human Centipede. A real body horror classic just dropped. You've heard of David Cronenberg's The Fly? How about Coralie Farge's The Fuck? This movie did more for feminism than Barbie did. It may not be the scariest film of the year. For me, that goes to Smile 2, without question. But to contradict the Zionist daughter from The Brutalist for a second and suggest it is about the journey, not the destination, The Substance is, as you could say, more substantial. Back to you, Tanner. That's my pick.
All great answers. And, my answer for 2 and 3 are going to be the same, and it's going to be a movie you're going to hear me bring up a lot tonight. My answer is I Saw the TV Glow. It is my favorite out of these nominees. It is my favorite horror movie of last year, and I'll just let the cat out of the bag right now. It's my favorite movie of last year. I loved it. I love it so much. It really gets under your skin. The last 30 minutes or so especially is like some of the most existentially terrifying stuff I've ever seen in a movie. This movie's so terrifying, it makes you question your gender. Don't look into that. Don't look into that. Don't overanalyze that statement too much, please. It is the most public I've been with my gender questions, and it's gonna stay that way. So, we have a lot of great nominees here. So, as I'll switch back to our nomination screen here, can I get a drum roll, please, for the winner of Best Horror of 2024? In perhaps the most shocking turn of events of the entire night. I counted the votes. I counted them again. I counted them 3 times. I made triply sure of this, and it's correct. The winner for best horror movie is all three of them because it's a three-way tie.
What the fuck? It's an amazing year for horror.
Yes, sir, it is. Austin, how do you react to the three-way tie in horror?
You know, they're all very good movies. You know, their mothers love them. They try hard in school. This is very deserved. What the fuck?
I literally thought I did something wrong. I checked, I triple checked, I quadruple checked. I did the math right. It's a three-way tie. It's a very interesting start to the night.
How many things had to fall into place for this to happen? That means a number of voters had to be divisible by 3. That's fucking crazy.
Just enough people were like, oh, this is my favorite and this is my third favorite, but then this movie's my favorite and this movie's our second favorite.
Oh, wow.
It's just how it came out, and it is worth saying that no other movie was even close to making the nominations.
Yeah, but for my money, The Substance had the best album of 2024, okay? I'm gonna let you finish. Fuck those other movies.
Yeah, I'm checking right now. Long Legs came in 4th place, and it was 5 first place votes behind from even getting nominated. So it was a great year for horror movies, and it was specifically dominated by these 3 movies.
God.
We're already off to a very exciting start, aren't we, Austin?
I was hoping you would bring in some of the stuff that you put in the private chat, you know, like this movie was a runner-up, the stuff that normally the people don't get to hear about. I love those comments.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to bring up occasionally. So, let's move on to our second category of the night, which is Best Actor in a Supporting Role. And the nominees are Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, Jack Haven in I Saw the TV Glow, Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice, Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain, and Yura Borisov in Honora. Those are our 5 nominees for this category. So Austin, the questions will once again be asked of you. Is going to win, should win, personal favorite, go.
Good job saying that last guy's name.
Not easy.
I'd be sweating bullets over there, dude.
I've been practicing.
For my money, I think this one is going to Jack Haven from I Saw the TV Glow. We've got a lot of people with sprinkles who vote for this show. You could say we're a colorful bunch, and they'd be deserving the award. They did a marvelous job playing this really intense character who insists that you need to metaphysically kill the old version of you and become a real girl. Their monologue in the planetarium was one of the most striking, hypnotic things I saw last year. But if it was down to me to pick, I'd give the award to Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. I genuinely believed he was an old-timey rich guy. I'm talking like the type of rich where he'd have no idea that to most of us, tuna comes in cans. The type of rich where they're like, oh, something's wrong with my dishwasher. And you're like, what's wrong with it? And they're like, he doesn't work weekends. You know, fucking, he feels like a crystal clear portrait of the conniving rich bastards who have been quietly ruining this country for centuries. So yes, put this shameful shit in the record. Instead of the cool, trans-activating, non-binary person, I'm voting for the SA Monopoly man. He just sold it well. Maybe that's why he's rich. I don't know. Back to you, Tanner. That's my pick.
I'm guessing Guy Pearce was your favorite of the year, too?
Yeah.
Good pick. Guy Pearce was brilliant in The Brutalist. But for me, again, it's a movie you're going to be hearing me bring up a lot tonight. But my favorite supporting actor performance of the movie last year was Jack Haven and I Saw the TV Glow. A performance that's actually a little difficult to categorize since Jack is non-binary. And he actually recently changed his name. So the first couple of ballots I received for him, their dead name was on there, which was unfortunate. All the stuff that Austin just said about Jack Haven in the movie, I can echo. That monologue in the planetarium is like some of the craziest next level shit I've seen in a while. Is absolutely insane. It's not easy to deliver like a 10-minute long monologue and have that be very engaging. And it is incredibly engaging. The shit Jack Haven is doing and I Saw the TV Glow is probably some of the best acting in the movie, which is quite a big statement when Fred Durst is in that movie. But only one of them can be the winner as I switch back to our nomination screen. Austin, can I get a drum roll, please? In what was probably the closest of our acting categories, the winner, and Austin, I'm very happy to tell you this, the winner is Guy Pearce in The Brutalist.
Oh, thank God! He did so good! Yeah!
Guy Pearce won by, I believe, 2 points from the second place winner. So this was a very close matchup. Interesting thing we've done here, Kieran Culkin has been sweeping across the board in like real life. He didn't win here. I will tell you, he was the second place vote getter.
Oh, that's neat. He did a really good job. I just think Guy Pearce's performance was more like showy, you know? Like it was louder. He had more things that were I don't know, noticeable. There was a part of me that couldn't vote for Culkin because I know a guy like that. And it kind of, I was just like, I don't want to give this guy a trophy.
You can say my name. It's okay. He means me.
Fuck.
He means me, guys.
Believe it or not, no.
No, yeah. Kieran Culkin is great in A Real Pain. I think he's great in that movie. But Guy Pearce, I mean, is doing some next level shit, I think. So it's a very deserving win. I'd say.
We all love the gay subtext that you don't notice the first time through. Or I didn't notice.
I picked up on it. Through. You're fake. You're a bad gay.
It's true.
And it's live, so we can't cut it. I said that.
Righteous.
Anyway, our next category is Best Sound. And the nominees are Dune Part 2, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, I Saw the TV Glow, Nosferatu, and The Substance. Quite a crop of nominees we have in this category, and unlike other years, I think all of our nominees in Best Sound are like realistic Best Picture contenders themselves. So this is a really strong category. But Austin, what will win, what should win, personal favorite, go ahead and go.
Yeah, this is another one where for my what should win is also my personal favorite. By the way, can you hear her?
I can't hear a damn thing. If that cat's meowing, I don't hear her.
Can you hear that lady belting agave tequila off in the distance? It's a no-brainer, dude. Dune 2 is taking this trophy. I'll never forget the scene where Paul's riding on the sandworm. It was a fucking assault of the senses. Like Madam Web. Except I liked it this time. But for my money, the most incredible sound mixing I heard this year belonged to Smile 2. Just as Dune Part 2 used sound to evoke a sense of scale and awe, Smile 2 used 64-channel Dolby Cinema voodoo to make me legitimately believe I was gonna die in a fucking movie theater. Shout out to the absolute madman Cristobal Tapia de Veer and the sound editor Dan Kenyon for synthesizing noises so deeply unusual that teenagers on TikTok legitimately believe the soundtrack for this movie is cursed. When the credits sneak shifted into the extra spooky remix, I started physically running out of the theater. Now that's art right there. Back to you, Tanner.
Austin was so deeply moved by Smile 2 that he made a whole video for the channel without telling anyone about it. It was a good video, got a lot of views. My answers for 2 and 3, which is what should win and what's my personal favorite, is going to be the same, and it's the other movie you're going to hear me bring up a lot tonight, because my answer for this is also obviously Dune Part 2. It sounds brilliant. The way Paul rides the sandworm for the first time, the way like the voice sounds, like all the voice stuff, I love that about the first movie, and I love it about Dune Part 2. Really, it's all the great sound stuff from the first Dune movie continued. Dune Part 2 sounds incredible. It's a technical marvel for a reason, and it's probably the best blockbuster of the past year for my money. It sounds amazing, but only one can win. So Austin, if I could once again get a drum roll, please. Much like 3 years ago, the winner of this category absolutely dominated. It wasn't close. Just like the first Dune movie dominated, Dune Part 2 easily won Best Sound.
Yeah. Yeah, dubbing the lady singing. There we go.
Right? Duh. Like, what else was it gonna be?
Dune 2 was engineered to be an IMAX experience. The other movies had like IMAX releases, but it wasn't like Dune 2 in IMAX, you know? And when you make a movie like that, you've got to take advantage of those crazy fucking speakers. Dune is an exceptional audio experience, and I'm surprised it hasn't collapsed a theater yet, given the shit they pull during those shows. Was your theater shaking at certain points, Tanner?
I did briefly think I was going to die. But I lived. I lived. Dune Part 2 was kind of like, it sounds incredible. It won this category for a damn good reason, because it's fantastic.
Smile, what is it? Dune 2 made me think I was gonna die because the movie theater was gonna collapse on me. Smile 2 made me think I was gonna die because the movie itself was gonna get me. They are not the same. Smile should have won this category. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I think also I remember a couple years ago when you were like, yeah, sound. My personal favorite is Smile. You were like embarrassed by it. I remember.
Yeah, not anymore. No, I'm embracing it now. Parker Finn is officially hit the town. They greenlighted a third movie. That's it. Smile Mania across America. It's no longer niche.
Maybe I'll actually like it this time.
Oh, fuck.
But we're gonna move on from Best Sound to one of our 2 new categories this year, which is Best Stunts / Choreography. And the nominees are Challengers, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, and The Fall Guy. Pretty great crop of nominees there, if you ask me. Very interesting crop of nominees there, too. So, Austin, we'll start with you. I keep saying we'll start with you. We're always going to start with you. What up? Will win, what should win, personal favorite, go.
What the fuck is Challengers doing on here, bro? Is it the one scene where Zendaya's got her leg fucked up? What the fuck is it doing here? All right. If I had to guess, I'm saying the Fall Guy is limping away with this trophy. It's a very on-the-nose love letter to stunts, and I'd imagine that some of our voters viewed boosting its visibility as kind of an apology for its poor box office performance. Not to discount everything that happens in The Fall Guy. You know, people get lit on fire. They broke a literal world record with the fucking car, the amount of times it tumbles over. The Fall Guy is genuinely quite incredible. But, from my perspective, Furiosa Mad Max Saga should be the one to win the stunt competition. Partially because I'm convinced George Miller has almost killed more stuntmen than the Broccoli family. The ones who up until recently owned James Bond. For fuck's sake, they had dudes surfing on the sand on skis being pulled by motorcyclists who fucking deployed parachutes and floated off into the air. Australians do not fear death. I am convinced that the fucking chrome spray is just like a sub-in for Vegemite at this point. Furiosa is my pick. Furiosa is the favorite, but fucking the Fall Guy's gonna win. You watch. Tanner?
I do just want to make clear that Joseph Rennick is in the chat, making it quite clear that he is a Furiosa guy all the way in this category. And unfortunately, he has a job and couldn't join us tonight. So I wanted to make sure his voice was heard. Anyway, my choice for what should win and what my personal favorite in this category is the same. Challengers.
What? Oh, damn!
I had the poker face really hard when Austin was like, what the fuck is that doing there? It's here because of me. That one's my fault. And I have an explanation for this. I have a very valid explanation for this. It, to me, is because it is the best tennis has ever looked in a movie. A sport that I personally find incredibly difficult to photograph. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that all three actors spent a lot of time with stunt coordinators and tennis instructors getting really fucking good at playing tennis. This movie doesn't work if the tennis doesn't look good, if it doesn't look real. I think the movie, honestly, kinda hinges on that even more than any of the romance stuff. Call me a madman, that's what I believe. Challengers is one of my top 10 favorite movies of the year. I think it's exactly number 10 for the year. And that's a lot of that has to do with just how incredible the stunts look. Or how incredible the tennis looks. So Austin, it was so funny that you went, why the fuck is this here? My fault, my bad. Won't happen again, sir.
It has been such a long time since I accidentally bullied someone. I'm so sorry. All right, now I'm hoping Challengers wins. What's in the envelope, Tanner?
Well, if I can get a drum roll, please. This was a pretty close matchup, but in the end, there could only be one winner. And boy, what a day. What a lovely day. Because the winner is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Yeah! Oh! Chrome, baby!
I'm just waiting for Joe to start cheering like a Met. Yep, there he is, Madman in the chat. This was, I think, my second or third pick. I wasn't as hot on Furiosa as everyone else is, but it is a very good movie, and the stunt work is incredible.
They like planned it out on Zoom over the pandemic. They worked for years to make these stunts happen. It took them like 77 days to film the kind of stowaway to nowhere sequence. They worked really hard on the stunts. I'm so happy that won.
And they still almost killed someone, probably. We just don't know it yet.
Someone? Some people.
Yeah, that's true. My favorite Mad Max stunt story is on Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. I think they literally almost ran someone over with a truck in that movie.
Ooh.
They did it. He lived. But anyway, now we're moving on to our next category, which is Best Documentary. And the nominees are Piece by Piece, No Other Land, and Will and Harper. Much like the last time we had this category, not a lot of people voted on it. Y'all motherfuckers need to watch more documentaries. But I'm sure Austin, a man who's well known for not being dishonest on his ballot at all, and would only put on movies he's actually seen, we're gonna start with you, obviously. What should win, will win, personal favorite, go.
If I had to place a bet, I'd wager that Will and Harper is probably taking the gold. That film had a lot of visibility compared to the competition, what with coming out on like the Walmart of streaming platforms and starring Ricky Bobby. It's also safe to bet that most of our voters are allies to the trans community, evidenced by our across-the-board rejection of Amelia Perez in every single category tonight.
I need to emphasize on that note, not only did Amelia Perez not get nominated for anything, it didn't get a single point in any category. Nobody voted for it.
Not even in secret. Damn, we're good at solidarity on shit like this. But what I think should win and deserves to win is Baseladra's harrowing documentary, No Other Land. One big reason I say that is because documenting the atrocities that the colony of Israel commits against Palestinians is a famously dangerous thing to do. One fact that gets thrown around a lot is more journalists were killed in the first 3 months of the recent Israel-Gaza war than have ever been killed in any other single country in a year. The Israeli military raided the director's home twice while they were making this thing. We as Americans, we live in a country where every media outlet has been bought and paid for by pro-Israel, pro-genocide demons. So a film like this existing out in the open is sort of a miraculous thing. And so that's why, for my money, I think Smile 2 should win. Back to you, Tanner.
Correct. Good answer. Anyway, traditionally, when I've had to answer what should win out of the nominees, I've interpreted that to be what's your personal favorite of the nominees. For this question and this category alone, I'm going to interpret it slightly differently, which is when I say what should win, I think what probably more importantly needs to win. No Other Land, I think, is an incredibly act of bravery that any type of movie was successfully finished that depicted the kind of suffering. And more importantly, I haven't had the chance to see it yet. but from what I understand, the anthology nature of the movie, giving voice to a lot of different Palestinian artists in such a difficult time for their lives, as they were, obviously they've been honestly actively being ethnically cleansed for the last 70 years, but the way the hostilities ratcheted up in the last couple of years or so, I think a piece of art depicting that is incredibly brave and incredibly important. So that's probably what should win and what deserves to win. But like I said, I haven't seen No Other Land. So my personal favorite documentary of the year is Will and Harper. I got to see it with Bennett Kedge late at night. It was like a 10 p.m. showing at the Alamo before it came to Netflix. It was really good. It was really heartwarming. It's the best movie Will Ferrell has been in a long time.
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. Sorry, Pharrell Williams was up there, and I think that fucked me up.
Hell yeah. I'm always happy to see Will Ferrell in something good. It's been a while since the Lego movie, you know what I mean?
No, Piece by Piece is on here. That came out last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
I still can't believe that movie exists. I liked it, for the record. I thought it was fine.
I think that trailer gave me a stroke. My brain just wasn't ready to compute Pharrell Williams biopic, but it's all Lego animation. I mean, maybe it could win. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's the best thing ever. I've heard okay things about it.
Yeah, it's really good.
You texting somebody, this fucking idiot hasn't seen Piece by Piece?
Yeah, I'm like, this fucking moron. But only one movie can win our least voted on category. So, if I could get a drum roll, please. Like I said, least voted on category. Not a lot of people were in here, but the winner is Will and Harper.
Nice! I'm a betting man tonight. Papa needs a new pair of shoes! And it's a good thing. It's a good object. Good for the community.
Yeah, I really loved Will and Harper. I thought it was really moving. I really enjoyed it. I also just like road trips, so that was cool to see.
It's funny. I think Will and Harper is more constructive for the trans community than Amelia Perez is. Jacques Audiard probably thought he was doing something real special, and meanwhile, Will Ferrell's road trip with his friend, probably 100% more effective on, the relations and stuff.
Halo voice, trans rights. Tim is in the chat, and he's saying some stuff that I agree with. 100%.
Nice.
But time for us to move on to the next category of the night. Here's a real fun one. That's going to be Best Score.
Nice.
And the nominees are Challengers, The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Hundreds of Beavers, and I Saw the TV Glow. Austin, I hope you're not sick of it, because you're going first like you always do. What will win, what should win, personal favorite, go.
I wrote this was another triple threat. I'm gonna talk a lot about one movie, but now that I'm here in the moment, Challengers might win this one. But what I think would be my pick and deserves it would be The Brutalist, purely because of that trumpet motif, courtesy of Alex Dorner. The Brutalist is my pick for the Austin pick, and maybe the most deserving in the category. Even when you go into this film knowing, from firsthand experience, millennials, that the American dream is a myth they made up to sell real estate, when you hear that score swell as the Statue of Liberty comes sideways into the frame, you really remember the promise of what America meant to some people before it all went to shit. And I'm sure production knew they had a great score on their hands because they flexed nuts and put an overture in this thing. Audacious behavior, backed up with orchestral chops. The Brutalist had the best score of any film that came out in 2024, in my opinion. But I think Challengers might be winning this one. Tanner?
Good answer. For me, what should win in my personal favorite of the year was actually difficult for me. This is the part of my ballot I struggled with the most. I, much like Austin, loved the Brutalist score. I also loved it. That trumpet motif, I thought it was very powerful and a very moving score, but also a rather understated score in a good way. It was subtle. It wasn't in your face. It wasn't over the top audacious. It wasn't screaming at you every 5 seconds. It wasn't full of techno music. It's not the type of music I'd put on my workout playlist. However, all those things I just said applied to the score for Challengers, which is ultimately what I picked, which is why Challengers is my favorite score of the year and is obviously what deserves to win out of these nominees. I can't fucking believe the Academy snubbed Challengers in this category. Listen, I get it. They don't seem to dig Guadagnino's work, but I thought surely they love Reznor and Ross. They suck those guys' dicks. Surely they would nominate the Challengers score, right? Right? Wrong. But thank God we got it right. At least nominating it. Did it win? I don't know yet. I'm killing time because Joe Vrenick said he got 3 ads, and I don't want him to miss the winner because he's been very loyal in the chat.
I remember hearing the Challengers score, because you don't see it coming. A lot of the reviews beforehand did not tell me that it hits you with, like, the best rave music you've ever heard. So, you know, when that tennis match starts kicking off in that long shot, I fucking, like, my pupils dilated and I leaned forward in my seat. I was like, I had no idea you could do this in a sports movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
The score's awesome. But what won? Can I get a drum roll, please? This category wasn't close, but it's closer than I thought it would be. But it did ultimately go to Challengers.
Yeah! Good stuff! Ooh, baby, Trent Reznor, king of composing for films and other stuff. Yeah!
Whenever Reznor and Ross do a score, it's awesome. I watched The Gorge yesterday, and I was like, man, why is the score so awesome? Then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, Reznor and Ross. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm really curious to see how their score for the next Tron movie goes, especially since they're crediting themselves as 9 Inch Nails for the first time in a movie, which is really interesting.
Fuck?
If that's your first time hearing about this, I'm sorry it had to be now.
Oh, that owns! I don't know if it fits with Tron. I mean, it's hard to follow Daft Punk, but that owns!
I am informing you now just so you don't get too excited that that is also the Tron movie starring Jared Leto. So just don't get too excited.
I'm sure. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, great stuff. I love Challengers' score, so obviously I'm happy it won.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
Didn't have a trumpet motif, you know what I mean? Could have used some horns.
What if it was like the EDM rave music, but also there was a trumpet?
I would love an EDM remix of the Brutalist soundtrack.
All right, who's an EDM? The Chainsmokers, get on it.
Mm-hmm. What could be next after such a category?
Well, I'm glad you asked because the next category is in fact Best Animated Feature Film, and the nominees are Flow, Look Back, and The Wild Robot. Austin, I'm a broken record. Will win, should win, personal favorite, go.
See, I'm kind of at a loss here, having not seen Flow or Look Back. So, my process of ignorance, I gotta say, The Wild Robot was the best animated movie of 2024 and a shoo-in for this award. It's got that storybook animation style. It's got talking animals, but for the first time ever, there is a diegetic reason why we can hear what they're saying. It's got one of those endings where it's implied that our soul exists beyond our physical brains, which is philosophically comforting. So comforting that it's like the basis of most religions. It's also just really impressive how nonchalant this movie is talking about death. You've got true crime YouTubers who have said the word killed less in their whole careers than The Wild Robot does in the first hour of its runtime. this builds character, and it provides a healthy way to brace kids about some of the toughest aspects of life. And most of all, The Wild Robot is the kind of thing you could only make with animation. A movie about a robot who goes native and forms a lifelong bond with the wildlife of, like, a fucking alien planet? That's perfect for animation. So yeah, all three. Wild Robot, because I didn't go to the theater enough this year. How about you, Tanner?
Well, those are all good answers. Well, if you'll bear with me a moment, I need to double check my own ballot to make sure I'm remembering this correctly. Yes, I am. My favorite of these nominations and what I think, and what my personal favorite of the year overall is the same. Look Back. It is the only animated movie nominated in Best Picture for us for a reason. It's a remarkably short movie, hour long. One of the shortest features I saw in a theater last year. But it packs a lot of punch in that runtime. This movie is 60 minutes long, and I'm pretty sure I spent at least 30 of those minutes viciously sobbing. It's hell of a gut punch. It's really emotional for a reason, and there's a good reason it has, if I remember correctly, 4 nominations tonight between Best Picture, Best Animated, Best International, and Best Adapted Screenplay. But what won Best Animated Movie? If I could please get a drum roll.
Tanner, I'm gonna let you finish. All these movies were really good. But Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was the best animated film of all time.
He speaks the truth!
Thank you, Bennett. Thank you, Bennett.
Motherfucker! He just kills it. He's so good.
I hope that's not too difficult for Tim to edit together. God bless you, Bennett. But the winner is, drum roll, please. This wasn't actually a very close category, and that's gonna make the winner shocking to you, probably, because the winner is The Wild Robot.
Boom, baby! Yeah, I'm so good at guessing. Yeah, it fucking deserves it, honestly. The Wild Robot was a stellar ride. Fucking killed it.
I love The Wild Robot. I also cried through a lot of The Wild Robot. I just liked Look Back a little bit more. But it is really interesting that The Wild Robot only nominated here and Look Back nominated in 4 categories, didn't win. Just a weird quirk of our system, I guess, because this happens a lot. This is, I think, the second time that the animated movie nominated for Best Picture isn't what won animated movie for us. We've only had 3 awards, so that's really interesting. But
say the line, Bart. Say the line. You gotta hit us with illegal votes. Come on.
Illegal votes.
There we go.
Illegal votes.
Look Back won this category. It deserved to win. The election was stolen.
I do want to, before we move on to our next category, Tim is in the chat rightfully bringing up his favorite animated movie of last year, which is Robot Dreams. And I do just want to say, I think that movie might have made it into the nominations if there wasn't a bit of confusion about its eligibility. I gladly accepted it because it wasn't released wide in America until I think this past summer, but it was nominated at last year's Oscars. So I think some people thought you weren't allowed to vote for it. So obviously I would have counted it, but I'd imagine that if there was less confusion about that, it probably would have been nominated.
Yeah, Magazine Dreams. I've heard it's good.
But that's it for Best Animated Movie. So the next category we are to talk about will be Best Visual Effects. And the nominees are, and there will be 6 nominees because of ties. The nominees are Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and The Substance. Austin will win, should win, personal favorite, go.
Much as I sometimes have distinct, maybe even contrarian views about certain things in film, this is not one of those cases. Dune Part 2 is top of the leaderboard, baby! It's got floaty guys, it's got a nuke, it's got a colossal mirror ball that gets hit by a nuke. one of these days, I'm gonna visit The Hague, so I can request that Warner Brothers get put on the war criminals list for refusing to release the IMAX version of this film on home media. I can't say I've visited many places, I don't travel much, but it feels like I hopped on a plane and went to Arrakis. My passport has a stamp on it now saying that I've been to Gady Prime. These movies are totally immersive thanks to their damn near flawless visual effects. And the fact that it was made for like half the budget of Fast X really proves that having a director who knows how to work with CG artists is essential if you want to make like a profitable blockbuster hit. Dune all the way, Dune for all three, let's Dune this thing. Go on, Tanner.
So, great stuff. When I was filling out my ballot, there was a brief moment where I said, you know, Better Man, great fucking movie. The monkey shit is integral to the movie working. It's brilliantly done. It looks great. There's a bunch of other visual effects parts going on that are amazing. I think maybe this movie deserves my vote for best visual effects. And then I watched 5 seconds of Dune Part 2 on YouTube and went, no, you fucking idiot. It's Dune Part 2. So obviously my favorite of the nominees and my favorite of the year overall is Dune Part 2. Wow. It's remarkable on that budget. Denis Villeneuve knows what he's doing. He understands visual effects incredibly well. It looks incredible. And that's because of the cinematography, and that's because of the actual visual effects work. Considering how much big Hollywood blockbusters nowadays are made in post just as much as they're made in the camera, I think it's really remarkable the effects in this movie and how seamless it all is. But only one can win. So if I can have a drum roll, please. Well, I mean, come on. It's Dune. It's Dune Part 2. What else was it gonna be?
There we are. There it is. Right where it's supposed to be. Look at that.
If anyone's curious, the second place winner was Furiosa. So I guess we're really into deserts this year.
See, that's interesting, because I heard Furiosa kind of got like a more like dulled reception because it got compared to Fury Road. Like, Furiosa integrated the volume, and some people didn't like how that looked as much. But, you know, of the list, I genuinely think Better Man should have been second place. I just don't think any of the viewers saw it. I can't believe they made a whole movie where the lead character is a CGI monkey. No other movie this year did that.
I agree. I will tell you one very funny thing, which is that Better Man did get one more point than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So the Apes movies can never win. They can never win.
The best monkey movie wins. Yeah.
But our next category, this is a fun one. It's one of the things that make movies the movies, if you would. And that is going to be Best Cinematography. And the nominees are Dune Part 2, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, I Saw the TV Glow, Nosferatu, and The Brutalist. I fucked up the alphabetical order on that one. The Brutalist should have been first.
Straight to jail.
My bad. That one's on me. My bad.
Cancel the show. Turn off the stream.
I wish Google Docs would just automatically, or Google Forms would automatically recognize that nobody counts the T and the, but whoops, my bad.
Librarians everywhere coming to kill Tanner Richard Kraft.
But only one can win, so Austin, we're going to start with you. I keep saying that like there's anyone else to start with, but what will win, what should win, personal favorite, go.
This is kind of awkward, considering how much I just talked up the visuals of Dune Part 2, but I think that The Brutalist is a better picture, cinematography-wise. Shit, Dune Part 2 is probably going to win this category as well, because people have kind of a more basic definition of what cinematography is. But we know, the two of us know, if you resurrect an analog format that has been dead for over 60 years, that means something. Dune Part 2 was a colossal blockbuster about a successful revolution. It has to frame every shot like it's a series of like computer desktop backgrounds. But The Brutalist was crafted to evoke complex thoughts about design and architecture. Its compositions are more creative and compelling. They filmed in the same marble mine where Michelangelo got the materials he used to sculpt the Pieta.
Oh, wow.
They had 3 pennies and a fucking stick of gum, and they still made a movie showcasing colossal pieces of alien-looking architecture. This is one of the most convincing-looking period pieces I have seen in a long time. It makes recent works from, like, Scorsese and Ridley Scott seem inauthentic. I have no idea how they nailed it this hard on the fucking budget they had. I won't be surprised when Dune Part 2 takes the trophy, but I would say that The Brutalist deserves it more. Tanner?
All great answers. So, for me, my personal favorite of these nominees and my personal favorite overall is the same. I saw the TV glow. If cinematography, to me, is more than just a pretty looking picture, obviously that is a big part of it. That is the most surface level part of it, and it's an important part of it. But for me, it's also about visual storytelling, and that's something in the past year I've felt myself becoming better aware of, in how the composition of a shot tells a story as much as the words on the screen, or as much as like what the image is. The composition of it it tells the story just as much. And there's a lot of shit in I Saw the TV Glow that makes it quite obvious what the movie is about. A lot of the times, people will say the subtext of I Saw the TV Glow is a trans allegory, that it's the subtext. And yes, it's never explicitly stated that the main character is trans. One of the first shots of the movie is the main character as a child under one of those elementary school parachutes that has been lit and shot in such a precise way that it is the same colors as the trans flag. It's stuff like that that makes the subtext, quite frankly, literal text. And I think it's horrifying imagery, it's evocative imagery, it's emotional imagery, for me, makes it the best shot movie of last year. But I do want to give a special shout out to my second place pick, which was Trap. We'll talk more about that movie later. But Trap was fucking amazing looking. But
Soyambu Mugdeeprum in the fucking back, just whoa!
Yeah, he's watching this right now. He's like, yeah, I got mentioned.
I love these guys.
These are the only people that care about me. But
not even for Queer, for Trap. Like,
I do listen. Queer also looks great. Queer didn't stick with me like Trap did, but only one can be our winner. So if I may please get a bit of a drum roll. In what was by far our closest category of the night, by a single point of 42 to 41 margin, the winner is I Saw the TV Glow.
Wow, what an upset. Holy shit. I did not see that coming.
And Nosferatu, which came in third place, was 3 points behind first place. So it was a very tight race for the winner, but I gotta say, very deserving winner. Obviously, it was my personal favorite, so I'm quite happy about this. What say you, Austin? You think this is good? You think good?
It has a striking visual style. I think Jane Schoenbrunn, for like being that early in their career, is really like kind of like with The Brutalist, like, you know, punching above their weight to a certain extent.
For sure.
I Saw the TV Glow is a very distinct, like, kind of visual experience, especially the scene in the planetarium.
It looks so good. Oh my god, I love the scene in the bar right before then too, when they're just like all those bands going on in the background. I love that scene too. But there's only one more category before we take a brief break, and that category is Best Comedy. And the nominees are one moment, I appear to have lost it. Whoops.
The real comedy is this.
Yeah, the real comedy is me accidentally turning on Microsoft snapping features like an idiot. All right, best comedy movie, which the nominees are A Real Pain, Deadpool and Wolverine, Hundreds of Beavers, and Lisa Frankenstein. Austin, will win, should win, personal favorite. Go.
I would get up and shout this from the rooftops if I could. Hundreds of Beavers, baby! All day, without a doubt. Hundreds of Beavers is the funniest movie I have seen in an extremely long time. It has the joke density that you normally only get from, like, the very best classic episodes of Looney Tunes. Except it's feature length, and it never runs out of steam. I adored this thing so much that I sought out one of its producers on Reddit and gassed him up like I was a crazy person. There are extremely famous comedies like Caddyshack, The Big Lebowski, and like Monty Python and the Holy Grail that did not have even half the total laughs that Hundreds of Beavers did. The only thing that even like comes close is Airplane. But that was also kind of a fairly small release, you know what I mean? There's a chance that this award is actually going to go to Hundreds of Deadpools. But we'll see if cinematic righteousness can prevail.
All right.
Tanner?
Well, this category is going to be a bit of a rare one for me. My personal favorite of these nominees is probably Lisa Frankenstein. Okay, let me rephrase that. My personal favorite's Lisa Frankenstein because for me, the best comedies are more than just what makes me laugh the most. It's also kind of like other stuff. And Lisa Frankenstein has like the love stuff I really like. It has the gothic stuff I really like. But it's a very, very funny movie. The funniest movie of these nominees is probably Hundreds of Beavers. A movie I think is maybe about 10 minutes too long. Shh, don't tell anyone I said that.
Oh, man. Fuck.
But my personal favorite of the year, not even on this list. As a matter of fact, all three of the movies I voted for in Best Comedy didn't make it into these nominations.
What?
I'll just go through them real quick so I can shout them all out. Trap was my third favorite comedy of last year. Hitman was my second favorite comedy of last year. And my number one favorite comedy of last year is a movie I am very confident nobody watching or Austin has heard of. And that is a movie from Thailand called How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies.
Oh, I've heard of this, but you're right, I haven't seen it.
Yep. It's hilarious. It also made me cry like a baby. I think the premise of the movie, if I may just quickly explain it, is this guy who's broke-ass motherfucker, lives with his mom, doesn't have a real job, all of a sudden realizes that if he wants to make a lot of money and live in a house, he can just take care of his grandma and become the favorite grandchild and get written into the will that way and get the house and that stuff. You may think, wow, what a shitbag, and you'd be correct. But wouldn't you be surprised to tell you that over the course of the movie, you learn to love him? You've probably seen a movie like this before, but it was very moving and very emotional. And again, I cried like a baby. But that's my personal favorite. Obviously, it's unfortunately not nominated. So let's go back to our nomination screen. And if I can get a drum roll, please, for the winner. This was a decently close category, but there can only be one winner. Or could I say hundreds of winners? Because the winner is Hundreds of Beavers!
Oh my god! Yes! Yes! A win for indie films everywhere! Holy fucking shit! It's like a new art form. It's like no movie you've ever seen. It's almost like a video game. Go fucking watch this movie. Bring your parents, bring your grandparents, it doesn't fucking matter. Everyone's gonna freak out. Hundreds of Beavers, fucking amazing.
Ethan is finally in the chat saying about the main character of How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, which I called a piece of shit. He's in here saying, well, it does make sense that you would relate to that character. Yeah. God bless you, Ethan. And thank you for that zinger, because that'll take us right into our brief break. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be a commercial. But for now, just enjoy this little ditty. We are back, and not only are we back, Mr. Bennett Kedge has joined the program. Bennett was so outraged about Uncut Gems not even being nominated that he said, you know what, I'm gonna come onto the show. And for the first time ever on our show, Bennett, we can see his face. Look at that beautiful man. Ain't he a
Allegedly.
handsome fella? What a beautiful boy.
Allegedly.
I would say truthfully, very, very factually, very cool. Thank you, Kanye. Very cool. Anyway, we got a lot more categories to get through, and thankfully we have Bennett to help us get through them. So let's start with our next category in the second half of the show, which is Best Actress in a Supporting Role. And because of ties, this category is supposed to have 5 nominees, but instead it has 8. And those nominees are Ariana Grande in Wicked, Aubrey Plaza in My Old Ass, The Brutalist, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist,
Nice.
Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, Joan Chen in Dee Dee, Katie O'Brien in Love Lies Bleeding, Margaret Qualley in The Substance, and Zendaya in Dune Part 2. That's a lot of nominees to get through. And since he just joined the show, we're going to put him on the spot. Bennett, the 3 questions we've been asking, in case you missed, which is, what do you think will win out of these nominees? What do you think deserves to win out of these nominees? And what's your personal favorite, regardless of what's nominated?
Hold on,
Go ahead and knock us dead, Bennett.
enough?
I turned you up. No, it's something on my end. I turned you up. You sound much louder now.
Am I good now? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. Sorry, what were the questions again?
What will win? Like, if you were to predict the
What
winner,
will
what
win?
what will win? What should win? What is your favorite of the nominees, or what do you think deserves to win the most out of the nominees? And personal favorite, regardless if it's nominated or not.
I've only seen Dune 2 out of all those movies, so I'm just gonna say Dune 2. Whoever that was, Zendaya.
Zendaya, that is correct.
Even though Zendaya was not great in Dune 2.
Oh.
Interesting
Hey.
take. Hey, no,
don't
we
shoot the
respect
messenger.
that.
Don't shoot
We
the
respect
messenger.
that.
Even though Zendaya was very mid in Dune 2. It's the only one I've seen, so I'll have to vote for that one, I guess. One that should win? I don't know. I haven't seen the other ones. However, the actress that played Adam Sandler's wife in Uncut Gems probably deserves it.
Great answer. Great answer. Idina Menzel is
Snubbed
great in
again.
Uncut Gems.
Personal favorite? Gonna have to go with Uncut Gems.
That's good answer. Good
On to
answer.
you,
Good
Austin.
answer. Good answer. Austin will win, should win, personal favorite.
Talk about a literal triple threat this time. This is one of those sentences that would sound like schizophrenia 5 years ago, but I genuinely believe Ariana Grande deserves the Best Supporting Actress award. Typically, when you think of, like, acting awards, you think of, like, Leo in The Revenant. Or for Best Supporting Actress, more specifically, you think of, like, Beatrice Straight in Network. You think of somebody who is effectively conveying inner turmoil, pain. Or like Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards. Something like sophisticated malice. But maybe every now and then we should hand out trophies for something bubbly and delightful. Ariana Grande in Wicked reminded me of this feeling I got watching Heath Ledger's Joker. Just this kind of deep fascination. You just want to watch that character keep going. She really killed it, honest to God. Tanner?
Good answer. Good answer. All right. So, my personal favorite out of these nominees, it's tough. It's either Joan Chen and Dee Dee or Ariana Grande and Wicked. I thought they were both brilliant. I think I'm gonna give it to Joan Chen and Didi, a really underseen movie last year. I'm happy it got nominated in any category for us this year. It's a great movie. It was just outside of my personal top 10, but I really loved it. And Joan Chen, who has a whole career of amazing work, is a big reason why. But my personal favorite, once again, wasn't nominated. And pray for
You're
me.
right, Dune Tune was not nominated.
You're right. No, pray for me. This one's not easy. Usha Siamkum in How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. She is, in fact, the titular grandma in that movie. And she is so good. She's funny. She's sweet. She's like she's got this mean streak to her that I really love. And her performance just completely locked me in from the very start of the movie. Even though, you know, I had to rely on subtitles because they were speaking a language I don't speak. Didn't matter. Performance managed to come through anyway. It's brilliant work, and I really tried to research how to pronounce her name. A lot has happened since then, so I don't fully remember. I tried my best with it, but I can't emphasize enough how brilliant I thought she was. But of these 8 nominees, only one can be the winner. If I may have a drum roll, please. It wasn't even close.
What?
The winner is Margaret Qualley in The Substance.
Oh shit, out of left field. Wow.
I'm crashing out.
It wasn't Uncut Gems. Bennett's fed up. Rigged. Sorry, saw it live.
Damn.
Bennett, I mean, Austin, I'm surprised you didn't pick her. This was your favorite movie, I thought.
Yeah, but I mean, I just had more fun watching Ariana Grande. I thought that Margaret Qualley as Sue was nice, but it's not as difficult to do. What Ariana Grande, what Ariana Grande did in Wicked is like so many more fucking dimensions of complexity than what Margaret Qualley did in The Substance. Genuinely, I like The Substance more as a movie than I like Margaret Qualley in The Substance.
Yes, I hear you. But if you remember, when you had seen The Substance before I did, I told you there's something about the trailers that make me drawn to this movie. And that was something about Margaret Qualley. I'm not going to repeat it here, but your grin tells me you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And boy, is she great in this movie.
It's got plot. Lots of plot.
Margaret Qualley is a very attractive woman. And quite frankly, the plot does in part hinge on her being very attractive. So I'm not a total sleazebag misogynist. I'm just kind of a sleazebag misogynist.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
But let's move away from the category that makes me sound like a misogynist and Dennis Quaid in The Substance to something that makes us sound refined and nuanced. And that is our next category, which is Best Film Not in the English Language.
Ooh.
And the nominees are Flow, Look Back, and I'm Still Here. Some great nominees, I think. Interestingly enough, 2 of these 3 movies were also nominated in Best Animated Movie. But interestingly enough, 2 of these 3 movies also didn't win in Best Animated Movie. So not much to take of that, but Austin, we'll start with you. Will win, should win, personal favorite, film not in the English language, go.
Oh God, now it's my turn. I haven't seen any of the nominees. If I'd had to guess, I'd wager Look Back is gonna win the award. I mean, we got anime nerds in this place. Like anarchists in like a fucking donut shop. But if I had it my way, the winner of this award would be fucking Kneecap! This surprised the absolute shit out of me. An origin story about the first ever Gaelic rap group. I mean, that sounds insane. Like, oh wow, this is the story of the first ever person to sing opera in Urdu. But this movie is like Train Spotting if it was happy. The music is genuinely great. We listen to Kneecap all the time in the car now. The leads are on some 8 Mile shit, playing themselves while also acting their balls off, and probably the most insane surprise of this whole movie. It features a phenomenal performance from fucking Michael Fassbender. I was absolutely crushed when this movie didn't end up as a nominee for the actual Academy Awards. It's my second favorite movie of all of 2024. It's like Purple Rain meets Citizen Kane. Go watch Kneecap.
Yeah, Kneecap. I saw that movie. I hadn't heard of this movie before I saw it on Austin's ballot. Bennett, a man of culture and
Yes.
refined taste.
Very much.
What do you think will win? What do you think should win? What's your personal favorite movie not in the English language of last year? Go.
You know, out of all my favorites of these nominations, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen any of these movies.
That's fine.
I mean, I've heard I'm Still Here is very good. So I think based on, you know, what I've heard in the cinephile, you know, sphere, that it should win.
Nice.
My favorite international film, though, it's a tough one. Gotta go with Uncut Gems, though.
Let's go!
Absolute sweep.
You know, Uncut Gems was a great movie. I'm pretty sure that movie's in Hebrew, so that is why it's
Yeah.
not in the English language.
And I will not stop rallying for it until it is brought back and the Oscars publicly apologize for not nominating it
In
back
every
2019.
category.
Hebrew is short for Hebrew and up a storm.
That's true. Anyway, my time to shine it low. My personal favorite of these nominees and my favorite foreign language movie overall, same as animated movie, it's Look Back. Made me cry a bunch, made me laugh a couple of times, made me cry a lot more, then some more, then I cried a little more, and then on the way home I started crying again. It's a very emotional movie. Packs a lot of punch in 60 minutes. I would probably love Flow had I seen it. Didn't get the chance to. I was busy. And I'm Still Here, which I finally saw last week, is great. I loved that too. Good reason. It's a very good reason it got nominated in Best Picture. But what's gonna win of these nominees? Tough to say. Look Back is the only one of these nominees that's also nominated in Picture. But that didn't help it in Best Animated Movie, did it? So, let's move on. Can I get a drum roll, please? For the second time tonight, there is a tie in the winners. It's not
Whoa.
a three-way tie like it was for horror. But I'm Still Here and Look Back both got 18 points, which means they are our co-winners of Best Movie Not in the English Language.
I actually forgot to vote for this category,
That's true.
so I can cast my vote now if you want a winner.
Oh, what do you want to vote for?
Let me get back to you on that.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Love you, Bennett. Sounds good. That's great. Great movie. Also, I just realized I lied before. My favorite movie not in the English language is How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. I don't know what happened just now. I've had a long day. Forgive me.
For a second, I thought you were going to be like, I lied before. Moonlight is the winner of Best
I'm sorry, there was a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Tanner's Oscar party is going to just be us watching How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies.
Shut up. You weren't supposed to tell anyone.
Ooh.
But yeah, great winners. Both well deserving, both very different movies. One is literally twice as long as the other one, which is kind of funny. But our next category is gonna be Best Adapted Screenplay, and once again, because of some ties, there are 6 nominees in what is traditionally a 5-nominee category. And the nominees are Conclave, Dune Part 2, Lisa Frankenstein, Look Back, Nickel Boys, and Nosferatu. Gotta say, that is a great crop of nominations, so probably gonna be difficult to predict who will win and everything, but we're gonna put Bennett on the hot seat here. What will win, what should win, personal favorite, go.
So I've actually seen 2 of these movies.
Let's go.
I went and watched Conclave the other day with the Pope not looking too hot right now. I was like, this movie might be a documentary soon.
Yeah, then we might need this one to know what's going on.
Time.
So Yeah, the best adapted screenplay. I haven't read the Dune books, so I can't go off that. Also, have not read what Conclave is based off of. I don't know where. Is it a book? Is it a different?
It's a book called Conclave.
All right. Also, have not read that. So, those are my two options. Haven't read the originals. I'm just gonna have to go with Uncut Gems then. So, because I can't.
That's fair, and I'm assuming that's your personal favorite as well.
No, my personal favorite. This is a good question. Austin, back to you.
All right, good answer. All right, Austin, what will win? What should win? Personal favorite, go.
Bennett mentioned this. Conclave, all the way. The most obvious thing about any given screenplay, it's dialogue. And Conclave is one of those rare Aaron Sorkin type films where the dialogue, all by itself, is enough to get you to watch the whole movie. Conclave rides on a bunch of really interesting waves, like the political tension between progressives and regressives, the sanctity of the Catholic Church in a post-Spotlight era, the value of religion in a modern world where we're like vaping nicotine and blowing each other up, like how The Matrix got a popularity boost because of the proliferation of home computers and the World Wide Web. Conclave gets this intriguing kind of contextual boost from recent global events. But most of all, this thing is tight like a fucking drum. Conclave defied my expectations and figured out a way to make a papal conclave feel like an action movie. Fucking love Conclave. It's my vote. It's what I think is gonna win, and it fucking deserves it. Tanner.
Can I actually add on to that? I do agree with Austin on this one, that Conclave. Like, Dune Part 2, amazing movie. But there were lulls in the movie where I was like, this could have been shorter. Mm-hmm. Conclave, though, it does not feel as long as it is. I was glued to my seat the entire time watching it. And so I'd have to agree with that on that, where I think Conclave absolutely deserves it. Well, I only saw those two movies, so I can't speak to the other ones, but out of those two, Conclave was like, it was intense the entire time.
Great. No, I agree. Conclave was great. It is not my answer, but I do just want to say, Bennett, I think you'd like Lisa Frankenstein. I recommend that one a lot. My personal favorite of these nominees, and what my personal favorite of last year was, it's the same. Nickel Boys. Wow.
Nice.
I can't believe this movie wasn't nominated in more categories. This movie is remarkable. It's a revelation. It was my fourth favorite movie of last year, but boy, is it really good. And a lot of that is the cinematography, but a lot of that is the screenplay. Beautifully adapting what was a truly heartbreaking book into an even more heartbreaking movie. The unique POV structure, and there's a specific thing about the writing I want to point out. Because while obviously the most obvious thing you can point to is the dialogue, another really obvious thing you can point to is point of view. And Nickel Boys being a movie that takes place entirely from the first person perspective of our two main characters, it can be kind of difficult to pull off the different point of views. And yet it never feels wrong when the point of view switch. It's always natural. And some of that's the directing. You know, some of that is the directing, but a lot of that is the writing. And it is not an easy thing to adapt. It is not an easy thing. Because here's the thing. The book is like that too, with the switchy POV stuff, apparently a little bit. That was not an easy thing to adapt, and it does a brilliant job of doing it. But what won? There's only one way to find out. So if I may, once again, get a drum roll, please. In what should hopefully, if I recall correctly, be the last time tonight, there are two winners because of a tie.
Oh, damn.
So, Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu are your winners for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Oh, double wrong? Fuck!
Yeah, you had two chances to get it right and you got it wrong. How does that make you feel, Austin?
Makes me feel like an asshole. What do you think it makes me feel like? God damn!
Bennett, Uncut Gems, robbed again.
What kind of award show is this?
One organized by me.
Oh, God, I bet the fucking house on it. Oh, fuck. Double wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, No, Nosferatu, there's something to it. Like, Robert Eggers goes back and finds, like, diaries and shit from that period in time and, like, lifts the way people used to talk from the authentic documents and crafts fucking movies out of it. Like, I totally get why Nosferatu wins.
Yeah, here's why it wins. The line, "My heart is lost without my Thomas." That's some next level shit. That's real lover girl shit. Robert Eggers, noted lover girl.
What is grief but Thomas persevering? Yeah,
that's true.
It's a good line.
Anyway, it's time for our next movie, and it's our last of the genre movie categories, but it's probably the most fun. And that is Best Action Movie, where the nominees are Deadpool and Wolverine, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and Monkey Man. Austin, I don't think we started with you last time, so we're going to start with you this time. What will win, what should win, personal favorite action movie of last year? Go.
I think what we have here is the ultimate face-off. Dune Part 2 was certainly the most successful nominee. And if I had to gamble my health insurance on it, I'd wager the inside of that envelope probably doesn't say Furiosa Mad Max story. But if you stop and think about it, the category is Best Action Movie. And I don't know about you, but none of the action in Dune Part 2 really pushed the envelope that far, in my opinion. Meanwhile, you got Furiosa. From the moment you see that little girl get grabbed with the whip and yanked down off a wall, you know that movie has fucking bite, okay? Just for the stowaway to nowhere sequence alone, Furiosa deserves this accolade. Dune is an epic with occasional action. Furiosa is an action film that's occasionally epic. There's a difference, and that difference is called the fucking Bobby Knocker. I'll keep my hopes up, but either contender would be a deserving winner. Tanner, you're making a fucking face. What's going on?
Austin, I don't know what happened here, but I would like to tell you, and I guess be the first to let you know, that the Marines killed Osama bin Laden. No, Dune Part 2 is not nominated in this category.
Was that on the PDF you sent me?
It was. I don't know what happened here. It was nominated in stunts. It wasn't nominated in action.
Okay, Tanner sent me a document with misinformation in there.
Did
anyway,
it?
Furiosa.
I'll double check it, but I would have sworn it said that.
Furiosa, baby, all day long. All three. I fucking love Furiosa. I meant everything I said about both of those movies.
I'm sorry if the document was wrong. My bad. Didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. Whoops.
Doesn't matter, because I didn't think it should win. Furiosa is nominated, though, right? I didn't
it is
make that
nominated.
up.
No, I just double checked the document I sent you. I have no idea what happened here. It's not on there.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well,
shit happens. There's a lot of categories.
Yeah, Furiosa all the way.
I agree. Bennett.
Yes.
What will win, what should win, personal favorite action movie of last year?
I personally agree that Furiosa should win. I absolutely love that movie. I know it got a lot of heat, like in when it was out in theaters. A lot of people gave it a bad rep, saying that it wasn't true Mad Max and all that. But I'm like, watching it, I was like, this is as Mad Max as it gets.
No, 100%.
The shot of Chris Hemsworth coming out of this, the red smoke, was like, give him the cinematography award just for that.
No, yeah, that stuff looked great.
Yeah, I would have to say, I think Furiosa will win. Furiosa is my favorite to win. That movie was just jam-packed full of amazing moments, amazing action. The sniper stuff from the motorcycles, such a cool scene. And my favorite of the year, again, would have to be Furiosa.
Good answer.
Amazing movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at home. But even at home, I was like, this is badass.
Fuck yeah.
It is pretty great. All right, my time to shine. Hello. So, my actual favorite of last year isn't on the nominees, so I will just go with my personal favorite of the nominees, which makes me look like a poo-poo baby brain head. My favorite of these three movies is, in fact, Deadpool and Wolverine. I loved Furiosa. I didn't love it as much as everyone else, apparently, but I did love Furiosa. Deadpool and Wolverine, a movie that is arguably not a real movie at this point. I'm still on the Marvel train. I liked the new Captain America movie. I don't think anything's ever gonna knock me off this train. And Deadpool and Wolverine, it was my favorite. Is my favorite Marvel movie of the last like 2-ish years or so. It's great. I love it for good reason. But
I'd have to go back then on mine as well because I completely forgot about Deadpool Wolverine. And well, I didn't think of it because it wasn't nominated in this. And I would have to agree with that. Furiosa is incredible, but Deadpool Wolverine like brought tears to my eyes.
No, that shit made me cry. It was very epic gamer moment in a cringe way.
With like the
like
scene
a
where
prayer?
the side scroller, no, the side scroller scene when they're fighting in the bus.
Oh, their old boy motif.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah.
Austin looks like he's losing his mind. I love you, buddy.
Austin, I'm sorry. I had to go back. I forgot about that movie. And it was amazing.
I'm about to embarrass myself even more because that wasn't my favorite action movie of last year. I'm looking at my ballot right now, and the movie I voted for to be my favorite action movie of last year is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog 3, baby!
You know what? I respect it. I respect that.
I'm gonna let you finish. Sorry, go ahead.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is one of the best movies of all time. I agree. I fucking love Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The action sequences are great. Is it mostly like an animated movie? Sure. But you know what? Shadow the fucking Hedgehog and Sonic went supersonic together to team up against a greater threat. And I just about pissed and shitted and cummed all over my pants in the theater. I don't even think I could say that last word on Twitch. Thank God we don't have any viewers, really. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Reporting the stream.
What more can you say? Sonic the Hedgehog 3, but only one can be our winner. So if once again I could get a drum roll, please. The winner, and it was a really close race between this and the second place finisher. The winner is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
Woo! Yeah, just Dune 2 didn't deserve it. Fucking Furiosa, baby.
Dune 2 wasn't even nominated, buddy.
I wouldn't call it an action movie. I know it has action in it, but it's definitely I don't think of sci-fi movies as action movies.
It's a blockbuster, not an action movie. A lot of people use them interchangeably. I do not consider them one and the same.
Yeah.
Furiosa, so fucking
I
good.
didn't vote for Dune Part 2 an action movie because I didn't consider it an action movie. It has fight scenes, but it's not an action movie.
Absolutely, right? But Furiosa, now that's how you make a fucking action movie. George Miller's got the sauce, and what is he, like 90? He's old for doing this shit.
He do be
he
having
still knows
the
how
sauce.
to put it together. Holy
But
fuck.
we have some more awards to get through, and the next category we need to get through is none other than Best Original Screenplay. And the nominees are A Real Pain, Anora, The Brutalist, I Saw the TV Glow, and The Substance. Bennett, we'll start with you. What
I'm glad you did.
will win? What should win? Personal favorite, go.
Best original screenplay of all time, Uncut Gems. No, I was kidding.
That's correct, though. That is correct.
They went through like 50 drafts. It was like a piece of art.
No, I just saw this like literally the other day. But A Real Pain was such an emotional movie for me. It was a movie that I found very personal. I grew up in a very large family and grew up very close to my cousins. We all kind of were like babysat together, so we all grew up together basically. They're almost as close as my siblings are to me. And I like Jesse Eisenberg's character in this movie. I grew apart from my cousins, so seeing a movie like this that brought up, a story like that was very close to home, and it was just something that was very emotional for me. And having a movie hit me that way emotionally was something special. And it's for me all three categories. I think it should win. It's my favorite out of all of them to win. It's my favorite one I've seen all year. So I had to go with A Real Pain.
Good answer. Good answer. I do know you really loved The Real Pain. I also love The Real Pain because I'm Polish. Austin, you might love A Real Pain because you're Jewish. I don't know. But what do you think will win, should win, personal favorite?
Fun fact, I'm also Polish.
Wait,
I'm
are you?
50% Polish, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Dad's side. Yeah. Yeah, so now I feel bad that I'm not going to gas up a real pain. I promise I liked it. You see, a part of me wants to estimate that this is going to the brutalist, because it's like, it's long, it covers decades of a man's life, it tackles complex themes about like class struggle and the immigrant experience, but I voted for the movie where a monster vomits up a boob. That's right. The Substance is my pick for what should win Best Original Screenplay. The Substance chooses to do one thing, but it does it perfectly. I love the choice of associating, like, feminine violence with the bathroom. I love that it starts with not one, but two Monkey Sampan style visual summaries of the movie with that fucking egg and Elizabeth Sparkle's Walk of Fame star. I love that Monstero Elizasu is the one incarnation of Elizabeth Sparkle who is confident in the way she looks. This is the kind of movie that grabs you by the shoulders and says, feel positive about your body or else. There's something to be said about exploring one broad topic perfectly instead of several more specific topics competently. The Substance, baby. I love it.
Good answer, good answer, good answer. For me, you're going to be hearing a lot of this as per usual, but my my favorite of these nominees and my favorite of last year overall are the same. I Saw the TV Glow. A lot of it, again, it's the trans allegory / actual literal text, not subtext. It's the way the characters talk. That wonderful Jack Haven monologue had to be written. It was delivered to perfection by Jack Haven, but someone had to fucking write it. It's my favorite movie of last year. It's brilliantly written, and a lot of that is because, you know, a lot of horror movies, like The Substance, use more grotesque or obvious elements to horrify, and that's not bad. That's not worse or better than anything else. But what I Saw the TV Glow does with how it gets under your skin, existentially horrifies you to the way where you're still thinking about it when you get home.
Yeah, that
really stuck with me. That was really powerful. I cried at points. I can't think of that many movies that have both made me cry out of emotions and also I think a little bit out of fear. And I think I Saw the TV Glow's brilliant writing is a big reason why. But only one can be the winner. Go back to my nomination screen. Can I get a drum roll, please? It wasn't particularly close. It won by 19 points. And the winner is I Saw the TV Glow.
Nice.
I will say A Real Pain came in second.
Nice.
And it was close for a while, but some of the last few ballots I got just like had like I Saw the TV Glow in first, and then they didn't rank A Real Pain at all. So it just pulled ahead.
Those ballots were rigged.
It was rigged. It should have been Uncut Gems, honestly. That's what it should have been.
Ballot box.
It was illegal votes, illegal votes. Obviously, I'm happy about this because I Saw the TV Glow was my favorite movie of last year. Austin, I'm surprised you didn't I was honestly expecting you to predict this to win.
Yeah, I just forgot all our voters were queer for like this one page of writing my notes.
Not all of them are queer. Just a lot of them are.
Name one.
Joseph Henry Vrenick.
Oh, fuck, he got me.
Myself.
Also Bennett Ketch.
I am a cisgendered straight white man.
For now.
The enemy.
For now. What do I mean by that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Moving on to Best Director, where the nominees are Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. I'm sorry, Joseph Henry Vrenick, what did you do? You're straight, that's all. Anyway, Brady Corbet in The Brutalist. Coraline Fargeray for The Substance. Hope I got that right. Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. George Miller, Furiosa. And Jane Trobrin for I Saw the TV Glow. I gotta be honest, this is a pretty powerful set of nominees. Pretty diverse set of nominees in terms of like what their movies are doing and what kind of directorial skills they bring to the picture. So this one might be a little harder to predict. But Austin, we're going to give you the good fortune of doing it first. What do you think will win? What do you think should win? What's your favorite directing performance of last year? Go.
See, I'm betting this one's going to Brady Corbet. Maybe just because I can't see outside perspectives on this one, and will be totally blindsided when Jane Schober wins. But seriously, Brady Corbet spent 7 years painstakingly putting together this massive epic shot on VistaVision on the same exact budget that they had for Jackass Forever. He probably earned Adrian Brody. He earned Adrian Brody his second Holocaust survivor Oscar. I'm certain of this. He took Guy Pearce from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and turned him into this 50s Donald Trump. There are a lot of directors who can squeeze a great performance out of their talent, but this is like watching somebody run a whole marathon and then stop at the end and make a fucking painting at the finish line. He proved that indie movies could be shot on premium large format film. He proved that you could film a 3+ hour epic in 33 days. He proved that anybody could go from some obscure Venice Film Festival ass dude to Big Dick Scorsese at the Oscars level prestige on $10 million and almost a decade of holding shit together. Brady Corbet is my #1 pick all the way across the board. I hope he wins. But judging on how things have been so far, I may be wrong.
Good answers, good answers. All right, Bennett, what do you think will win? What do you think should win? Personal favorite regardless of the nominees.
I agree with Austin on this one.
Okay.
I think what will win is Brady Corbet. I have not seen The Brutalist, but from just hearing how it was made and how long of a film it is and how complicated of a film it was to make, that it has to go to Brady Corbet for that. I don't think the Best Director award goes to whoever had the most creative thing. I think it was whoever made the most, or who overcame the most obstacles for making a film, and that has to go to Brady Corbet. My favorite for this is George Miller. Love the Mad Max saga. I would want him to win, but if we're being realistic, Brady Corbet wins this one with a close second being Jane Schober.
Good answer, good answer, good answer. My answer for what should win and personal favorite are the same. Jane Schober and I Saw the TV Glow. Everything I've been saying this whole night about how it works, it doubles up here. It's brilliantly directed because of, you know, the imagery, the existentialism, the terrifying horror of like feeling like an imposter in your own body. Jane Schober is a trans director, and I can't think of a better movie in recent memory that truly, I think, encapsulates the horror of queerness in a way. And I have never seen it really depicted like this before. And like I said, it's a movie that has stuck with me ever since seeing it. And I'm trying not to say too much about it because I'm probably going to need to say some more in the Best Picture category. So nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the winner of this category. Move on to our nomination screen. Can I get a drum roll, please? It was pretty close. It was closer than original screenplay was. But at the end, Jane Schober and I Saw the TV Glow still pulled it out.
Yeah. Fine.
That's original screenplay and Best Director under its belt. Pretty solid combo right there. Austin Bennett, reactions to this?
You know, it's a good movie. It's a big improvement from We're All Going to the World's Fair. Joe Brennick, Please Don't Kill Me. It's, you know, it's respectable. I respect that Jane won this award.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was saying if it wasn't Brady Corbet, then it was her.
Them.
Sorry, I apologize. Them.
No, you didn't know. You didn't know. It's fine.
But yeah, like they made a great movie. Brady Corbet also made a great movie. I mean, it was honestly a toss up. The only reason I would say Brady Corbet over them is because of the obstacles in terms of just making a movie on a shoestring budget and making a movie as big as The Brutalist on as, you know, small of the resources that they had. But this was also an amazing movie that was also very well directed. So
Yeah.
it's a deserving award.
Yeah, our top 2 vote getters were Jane Strobrin and Brady Corbet. Both were indie movies on shoestring budgets, but I understand the Brady Corbet thing. While Brady Corbet did have a little bit more money, what he's able to accomplish with just that little bit more money is all the crazier. He has seemingly single-handedly revived a dead film format, which is kind of crazy cool. I think we're going to be seeing more movies shot on VistaVision, especially as I think theaters and filmmakers are naturally transitioning to, you know, you need to justify the big screen experience somehow to get asses in the seat in the theater. And I think premium large format film is a great way to do that.
And also, like, not to say that I saw TV Glow wasn't a movie that came overcame obstacles, but Jane Chobrin came over, or has already had a movie that was pretty like well known before this one to kind of play off of to kind of get where they are, but still very deserving award.
For sure. Now, moving on to our second new category of the night. And calling this a new category might seem shocking, considering it is arguably the singular thing that makes movies a unique art form. I kept forgetting to put it in our awards for 2 years. Oops. But that is our nominations for Best Editing. That's right, we didn't have an editing award until now. That's my fault. My bad. But the nominees are The Brutalist, Challengers, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, I Saw the TV Glow, and The Substance. Pretty elite set of well edited movies here. Kind of tough to pick just one. So, what will win, what should win, personal favorite. I think I started with Bennett last time, so Austin will... Nope, I started with you last... Bennett, we'll start with you.
I can go. Sorry, I was not paying attention. I was responding to a text. What were the nominees again?
The nominees are Challengers, The Brutalist, Furiosa, I Saw the TV Glow, and The Substance.
Okay, I have seen Challengers. I have seen Furiosa.
I love Furiosi. That's my favorite movie, Furiosi. Hey, Furiosi!
Man, it is hard to not pick a Mad Max movie for editing, just because of the pace of those movies. Is all done in editing. The cinematography is great and plays into it and everything, but the editing is a thing that makes it that, like, you know, punch jumping style that those movies are. I always have to nominate a Mad Max film for this, so I'm going to have to go with Furiosa for it. I think Furiosa is my favorite to win, and my favorite that I've seen all year. In terms of editing, though, The Brutalist, being as long as it is, probably deserves it a little bit, but I'd have to say it's between that and Furiosa for me, and I'll go with Furiosa for my choice for winning it.
Good answer. Austin, will win, should win, personal favorite.
Maybe I'm smoking something, but I'm thinking Challengers might actually have this one in the bag. The tennis matches in Challengers are some of the most impressive audio-visual compositions of 2024. Getting everything to flow along with that electric techno beat required a measured rhythmic sensibility that had to be like balancing spinning plates. You know, that all said, I voted for Conclave. It's precision, the way it builds suspense, the way it only cuts when the dynamic of the conversation changes. It's the antithesis of the fucking lunch scene from Bohemian Rhapsody. The cuts aren't often even visually motivated. That would be a little plain. They're motivated by the psychology of the characters, which is perfect for a movie about a papal conclave. Shame it didn't make the list. I bet everybody voted for some sinful shit in this category. Just you wait. Tanner?
Yeah, great stuff. For me, I kind of love the editing of all these nominees, except for one. Spare Austin's feelings, I won't say that one. But
Challengers.
Yeah,
you really didn't like the editing of Challengers?
No, I love the editing of Challengers. I think The Substance is 20 minutes too long. Anyway.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
No, Challengers is perfectly edited, and I could see myself going for that. I could see myself going for I Saw the TV Glow. I could see myself going for Brutalist. I think my personal favorite of these nominees is Challengers. It's tough. I think these are all like perfectly edited movies. And if I had to pick one out of these nominees, I would go with Challengers. You may notice that I keep saying out of these nominees because my personal favorite for editing last year was, shockingly, to me, this was the biggest shock when the nominations were finalized, was not even nominated. Dune Part 2 is a 2-hour and 45-minute movie that simultaneously feels like 5 hours and 30 minutes in all of the right ways. It's perfectly paced, it gets under my skin, it's a technical marvel of a blockbuster, and it's so perfectly paced considering just how complicated of a story that is. There's a lot of moving parts. You have to move to a lot of different plot lines. It never loses sight of itself. It's pretty perfectly edited. I can't believe not many people apparently didn't agree with me. Especially because I'm pretty sure Dune won this category for the first edition of the awards, and now it's not even nominated here. Kind of a shocker.
Interesting points.
But only one can win. So, drum roll, please. This was once again a very tight, close category, but in the end, the winner is The Brutalist.
Oh, nice call, Bennett. Damn.
Yeah, good call, Bennett. I mean, I get it. It's a 3-hour and 30-minute movie that genuinely flies by. That's impressive. That is really impressive.
That is, I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard that exact saying that it does not feel like an almost 4-hour movie. Editing is the thing that helps that. Editing is the thing that controls pace in a film, and if a movie is paced well enough to where it doesn't feel like half your day you're spending the time watching the movie, that's great editing.
Yeah, for me, if I were to compare it to anything of recent memory, last year we had a 3.5-hour movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. I loved Killers of the Flower Moon. It was one of my favorite movies of last year. I can't emphasize enough. I love that movie. That is a slow movie. That is by design. That is deliberate. But that is a slow movie. The Brutalist feels half as long, despite being, I'm pretty sure, 8 minutes longer.
Also, this is really incredible because they basically had one functional VistaVision camera. They did not have, any two camera setups in the whole damn movie. They just had one fucking camera and they had to do with that. So there's an amount of the edit that they probably had to figure out a lot in advance. It's really, not a lot of films have that shit. It's incredible. Another point for Brady Corbet. Should have been best director.
Maintaining that type of visual continuity is impressive. All right, our next category is Best Actress in a Leading Role.
Ooh.
Once again, due to ties, there are 7 nominees in this category that would normally have 5.
Let's go.
And the nominees are Anya Taylor-Joy in Furiosa.
Let's go.
Cynthia Erivo in Wicked.
Let's go.
Demi Moore in The Substance.
Let's go.
Catherine Newton in Lisa Frankenstein. Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu.
Nice.
Mikey Madison, Honora. And Zendaya for Challengers, which, fun to note, that is Zendaya's second nomination of the night for acting, as she was also nominated for Dune Part 2. Austin, I believe we'll start with you, which is what? Did Bennett?
Is that right?
I can go.
I can't keep track. What
It's
will
all
win?
good,
What
all
should
good.
win? What is your personal favorite? Bennett, go.
All great performances from the ones I have seen, which are Challengers and Furiosa. That's it.
All right.
Furiosa, Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my favorite actresses of recent times. Thought she did amazing in that movie. But I will have to say, I loved Zendaya in Challengers, which is the opposite of her performance in Dune 2 this year. Thought she was not great in Dune 2, but in Challengers, she was amazing. And I'm saying this as somebody who watched Challengers on an airplane seatback TV.
Oh wow!
The most perfect place. The
The
peak
way
cinema.
Nolan intended.
Yes, as I was half asleep on a 12-hour flight, I said, let me watch Challengers so I can understand this movie. And her performance killed it then. I could only imagine how good it was in theaters.
It was next level. It was some, because here's the thing, she's the glue. I know everyone talks about the two boys of that movie, but she's the fucking glue.
Yeah,
And that's not to say O'Connor and Feist aren't great, but...
Oh, yeah. But her performance was the thing that made the drama more like more intense.
I mean, the movie ends on her screaming for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Austin...
So I'm gonna have to go with Zendaya for all three.
No, 100%. Austin, what will win, what should win, personal favorite.
This is a good year for, like, actresses who haven't gotten to really, like, flex nuts like crazy. We got that with Zendaya and Lily Rose Depp to a certain extent. I can't think of, like, a Zendaya movie that, like, where I was, like, blown away until Challengers came out.
Far From Home, Adur.
Sure.
Terrible movie.
It only gets worse the further away you get from the year it was released. No big deal. No. I haven't even rewatched it. So 2024 and 2005 have one big thing in common. In both of those years, America fell in love with a stripper. I would bet actual cash money dollars that Mikey Madison is the winner here. Honora is such a memorable character, trying to stay strong while navigating this really fucked up inversion of a Cinderella story. Madison's performance in that final shot stayed with me for days after I saw this the first time. I couldn't stop thinking about it. But surprise! I have a different movie where the lead actress revolutionized acting in the final fucking shot. That's right, it's Strange Darling coming out of nowhere with the steel chair. Willa Fitzgerald plays a damsel in distress unlike anything you've ever seen. This was my third favorite movie of last year, and I really wish more people saw it. I remember watching that final shot in theaters and getting that weird feeling like you've taken a drug and it's starting to kick in and reality's just falling out behind you like a door that keeps getting further away. I have no idea how she had the stamina and the concentration to do what she did in this movie. Hopefully people will pick up on this and see that Willa Fitzgerald is so much more than the love interest from Reacher Season 1. But yeah, I really think that Mikey Madsen's winning this for Honora. People went nuts for that performance.
Good answer, good answers all around. My time to shine. Hello. My favorite of the nominees and my favorite of last year are the same. The answer might shock you. It's not a super showy performance. It's not a super obvious performance. It's probably the performance that you guys were most surprised even got nominated. That would be Katherine Newton for Lisa Frankenstein. I think she's great. I think she's so good in this. And you know what? It's one of those ones where I can't even really explain why. I just know I love it. I adore it. I think it's brilliant. I don't know. I wish Lisa Frankenstein got more love overall. It deserved more than it got. Zelda Williams did a great job directing it. Katherine Newton did a great job starring in it. It's a movie that entirely hinges on her performance, much like Mikey Madison's Honora does, but I don't know. Katherine Newton just stuck out a little bit more to me. But what won?
What did win?
Drum roll, please. Austin, I hope you didn't make that bet, because it wasn't even fucking close.
Really?
By a wide margin, the winner is Demi Moore in The Substance. I'm talking it was our biggest blowout of the acting categories. Not even remotely close.
That's really interesting.
She was in Scream, wasn't she?
No, that's Courtney Cox. You're thinking of Courtney Cox. I thought the same thing. No, that's Courtney Cox.
Pretty sure she was in Scream.
She is definitely not in Scream, Bennett. I love you, though.
Wow.
Austin, this is your favorite movie. I'm surprised you didn't vote for this at all.
Yeah. I mean, Demi Moore was absolutely great in it. I just think Honora was a more, like, showy kind of character performance. Demi Moore does what she needed to do for the movie, but Honora is a more memorable character than Elizabeth Sparkle. To me, the most memorable character in The Substance is everything that happens in The Substance.
That's
like the fucking
totally
gore
fair.
and the whole tone of it. So yeah, that's kind of why I was caught off guard with this one and really thought Mikey Madison was going to win it.
To be fair, there's a real chance it's going to play out this way in the Oscars where right now, I think it is most likely Honora wins original screenplay, director, and picture. but I don't think Madison's winning actress, which is kind of crazy to think about considering what that movie is, but I think it's possible.
I need to see Anora.
It's great. It's great.
It's great.
Where can
It's
I watch
great.
this movie?
It's arguably sexist. It's great. I'm kidding about the sexist part. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. I think we talked about it in our episode.
Yeah, you're right.
Now it's on to our second to last category of the night, and one I'm personally really excited to talk about. And that's Best Actor in a Leading Role, where the nominees are Adrian Brody in The Brutalist, Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing, Josh Hartnett in Trap,
Whew.
Justice Smith in I Saw the TV Glow, and Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. Austin, I know for a fact you didn't go first last time, so you will be going first this time.
It would be,
What will win, what should win, personal favorite, go.
It would be so fucking funny if Josh Hartnett won for Trap. Obviously, it would be like meme magic, nothing more, but I don't know if I'd exactly be upset about it. Every part of my brain, though, is saying Adrian Brody. He gives such a strong performance in The Brutalist. There is a scene where I cried just because he was crying. That doesn't happen often. He's got this, like, flawless Hungarian accent. That's not one of the stock accents you pick up doing theater. That is very far from, like, a southern drawl or Cockney or something. Plus, there's this really incredible aspect about his character. He was a hotshot architect over in Europe. He's used to people not only treating him like a person, but an established and brilliant person. To watch somebody like that have to start from zero, unsure if he'd ever regain the dignity he used to have because of prejudice and like literal physical distance from his previous accomplishments. It's really compelling material, and Adrian Brody plays the whole thing perfectly. I think he's gonna win, and I hope he wins.
Good answer. Good answers. Bennett, will win, should win, personal favorite.
I am not sure out of these three. I would just go with Adrian Brody. Haven't seen the movie, but I mean, he's amazing at everything I've seen him in, so I'm just gonna go with him. I will tell you the one that I don't think even deserves to be nominated.
There we go. Here we fucking go. I knew he was gonna do
You
this.
already knew this was coming.
Oh,
Josh Hartnett can get out of these nominations right now. Trap was the worst movie I saw all year.
oh, damn!
It was literally garbage. I was mad that I watched it. I was like, I could have done so much better stuff with my time than to watch this movie. The worst movie that M. Night Shyamalan has ever made. Period. Nothing else even comes close. I would rather watch paint dry than watch that performance again.
Play the clip from the movie where she says, "Enough of this foolishness."
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
The whole... I'm sorry. I'll get further into this movie later on. Go ahead.
My personal favorite and my favorite of last year of these nominees are the same. It's Josh Hartnett in Trap.
Oh, fuck!
I gotta go. I'll see you later. I'm leaving.
I love Josh Hartnett in Trap. I think he's 100% on Shyamalan's wavelength with this movie, which is a weird thriller comedy thing that just stuck with me the more I thought about it. It's one of my favorite Shyamalan movies. It's probably Shyamalan's best movie since... Oh, it's been a while.
Signs, maybe?
Sonic 3, that's right. Anyway,
Sonic
probably
3 was a banger.
you know what? I think I like it more than Signs. It's probably his best since Unbreakable. I might like
Unbreakable's
The
also
Village
a banger.
more. I don't know. Anyway, I think Hartnett, the movie, 100% totally hinges on him perfectly striking this balance between genuinely, legitimately very caring father and total psychopathic serial killer. It's a very difficult balance to strike, and I think he nails it. And a lot of that is M. Night Shyamalan's, of course, really brilliant screenplay and his brilliant direction. I fucking love Trap so much, and Josh Hartnett is a big part of that. Bennett, you're killing me here. You're killing me so bad. Bennett,
Do you even watch
Bennett,
movies, bro?
Buddy, I watched over 150 last year.
Yeah, and out of all of those, you thought Trap was a good movie?
100% I did. I think I thought it was the 8th best movie of last year. I like that shit more than Challengers.
If maybe you took every other movie you saw and then put it 8 below all of those, I might agree with you. It was awful.
I love Trap so much.
I'm
correct.
The screenplay was terrible. The writing was terrible.
This is just Bennett getting his grievances about Trap out there.
The acting was terrible.
It was brilliant. It was great. I loved it. Only one of these actors can win our award, though. Drum roll, please.
If it's Josh Hartnett, I'm leaving.
Drum roll, please. It was close. It was pretty close. It wasn't as close as last year, but it was pretty close. But like last year, it's a shocker none of you saw coming. Because the winner is Justice Smith and I Saw the TV Glow.
Undeserved. Undeserved.
For a long time, it was Sebastian Stan. It was Sebastian Stan for a long time. The last few ballots put Justice Smith over the hump. I think Justice Smith is great in the movie. I think this is a well-deserved win. It is also, like last year, the most win we've given out of the night.
Yeah. The monotone delivery of lines. I think that he's not given that much to do until like the very end of the movie. I would definitely give this to Brody over Justice Smith.
Brody, I think, came in 4th. I'm sorry, Brody was 3rd.
What kind of voters are these? My God.
You're one of them.
Wait a second. You're right, I did vote for Justice Smith. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. We got him. We got him, boys.
Who am I?
Well deserved. I do think Justice Smith's performance is a little more nuanced than that. It is really monotone, but there's some subtle stuff in there that's really devastating. I think, and a lot of that's by design. Justice Smith's a talented actor, and I think this is a well-deserved win. Very well-deserved win, but now we move on to the big one.
Which is?
Best Picture of 2024. There are 10
obviously
nominees.
Picture.
That's correct. It's pee pee poo poo. No. And the nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, Challengers, Dee Dee, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, I Saw the TV Glow, Look Back, Nosferatu, and The Substance. Pretty elite crop of movies here, if you ask me. A lot of diversity in genre, in country, in what people made the movie and what these movies are going for. A lot of good stuff here. So Bennett, we're going to start with you. What do you think will win? What do you think should win? What was your favorite movie of last year? Go.
It's surprising, but I'm gonna have to go with Dune Part 2 out of all these. Dune Part 2. I'm somebody who was very disappointed by Dune Part 1. I thought it was very boring and just drug on and didn't really get to the story very well. And then Dune Part 2 did the exact opposite of that and amazed me the entire way through. It's a great adaptation to the Dune books. It's a great sequel, which is not a common thing. We don't usually get good sequels. And just an overall amazing film. What I think will probably win, though, is The Brutalist. Have not seen it, but I think from just what I've heard from people, it's the most amazing film that they've seen of the year. And usually the film that everybody's talking about that was like, oh my gosh, this blew me away, is the one that ends up winning Best Picture. So I'm going to say that The Brutalist will probably win it. I would love to see Dune Part 2 win it, though.
Good answer. Austin, will win, should win, personal favorite movie of last year.
Based on early buzz, I'm guessing that this might be going to Dune Part 2. That was no ordinary blockbuster. People were comparing it to entries in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy. Dune Part 2 is still sitting pretty at a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm pretty sure it has 1 trillion reviews. And I know of the films that our voters were likely to have watched, Dune Part 2 is like the only shoe-in among the list in this category. But my pick, my #1 movie of the year, would have to be The Substance. It's one of the best looking movies of the year. It's really cheeky with its cinematic illusions. It's got visual nods to The Shining, Carrie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and best of all, the infamous Eric Pride's Call on Me music video. We all remember, don't we, boys? Meanwhile, it takes gore and body horror, puts them behind a noble cause, and then cranks the intensity to a level that only the French could achieve. It was absolutely thrilling getting to watch this disgusting shit in the same theaters that were showing Beetlejuice for fucking years. The new French extremity movement was so dour and dreadful, but The Substance takes what made movies like High Tension, Inside, and Martyr special and puts that extreme material inside of this incredibly shiny Trojan horse. Tanner, you recently called The Substance a B movie, and I'd agree. The plot is simple, and a big part of its appeal is the shocking content. There have been many years where my favorite film was something straightforward, like what you'd call an A movie. Portrait of a Lady on Fire was probably my favorite film of 2019. The Favorite was probably my favorite film of 2018. But in a year where, like, the serious contenders are like Nickel Boys, The Brutalist, Anora, I just couldn't shake it. The Substance was the one movie this year where I got more excited the longer it went on until the final mind-blowing shot. And that's not a feeling I get every year. So yeah, that's The Substance, baby. But I think Dune Part 2 might be what's inside that letter there.
All of these are great answers. All of these are great reasons. For me, my personal favorite of the nominees, my favorite movie of last year. I mean, I've said it over and over again. It's I Saw the TV. It's
There it is.
horrifying. It's emotional. A couple of times, it actually made me laugh. Very rarely, but it did make me chuckle a couple of times. It's brilliantly directed. It's brilliantly written. It's brilliantly shot. It's brilliantly edited. It has everything I want from a movie. This is a movie that's so good that I will be just sitting at my desk at work, and all of a sudden I'll think about it, even though it's been 9 months since I've fucking seen the movie. I'll think about some striking image. I will see that image of "There is still time" written on the chalk. And I'll see stuff like that, and it just completely sticks with me in a way that's really powerful and moving. I Saw the TV Glow. It's a brilliant movie. In a year full of, I thought, were some really great movies. All of the movies we nominated for Best Picture this year are good. Even The Substance, one I wasn't as into, are good. The other 9 movies we nominated for Best Picture this year, I gave all of them 5 stars. I loved all of them. I Saw the TV Glow stood out among the rest. It's brilliant. It's a basically perfect movie. It's a movie that's so good that I vaguely alluded to my gender questions earlier. That's how you know it's next level. But only one can be the winner. And like the past 2 times we've done the awards show, I'm gonna go from 10th place to 1st place.
Number 10, The Substance.
No. In 10th place with 29 points is Dee Dee. Makes sense. It was only nominated for 1 other award. Really good. I just guessed that everyone went, yeah, I like that movie enough to put it in their ballot, but not really enough to put it anywhere else, I guess. Yeah. In 9th place is Challengers. You would have probably thought it'd be up higher considering how many nominations it got, but it only came in here with 33 points, and for the long time was behind Lisa Frankenstein, which was our 11th place finisher. In 8th place with 34 points, Look Back, our only animated movie in our top 10 this year, our only non-English language movie in here this year. Not a lot of us saw it, but those of us that did see it really loved it. In 7th place with 38 points is Nosferatu. A classic horror movie, a remake of a classic movie. It's great. I love Nosferatu. Makes sense that it's here. In 6th place with 39 points is The Substance. A lot of passion for it. Wasn't quite enough to get it overhead. In 5th place with 45 points is Anora. Shockingly didn't win anything tonight, but it still got a top 5 finish in Best Picture. Pretty interesting combination. People loved it, but they didn't love it enough to get it over the finish line for some wins. In 4th place with 46 points is The Brutalist. It was the big American epic. It's the one that everyone talked about. It was great. Wasn't enough to get the top dog picture. In 3rd place with 51 points is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. It was everyone's favorite action movie, clearly, considering it won stunts and action movie. Well-deserved win here. That means we are down to 2 pictures. Dune Part 2 or I Saw the TV Glow. And these 2 movies, the 2nd place movie had 81 points. The 1st place movie had 103 points.
Oh, wow.
That's a 20-point difference. That's 2 first place votes worth. And by a 22-point victory, the winner, makes sense. It's won the most awards tonight so far. It's I Saw the TV Glow.
Nice. Nice. There it goes. Sure.
Well, gentlemen, what do we think? Obviously, I'm fucking happy. It was my favorite movie of last year, but gentlemen, what do you guys think?
I mean, it makes sense. It's, from what I've heard, is a good movie. I haven't seen it yet, and I need to watch it from how much I've heard how good it is. But you know, I'm not surprised, or yeah, I'm not shocked, because from what I agree, like I said, from what I've heard, it's an amazing film, and any film that has this much hype is obvious to win a Best Picture award. And you know, movies, the goal of a movie is to invoke emotion in people, that they enjoy, and to entertain people. And if the movie's getting this much hype, that means that it did its goal and deserves Best Picture.
100%. Austin, you were almost right. Doom Part 2 came in second.
Yeah, not a terrible bet. I feel like I Saw the TV Glow resonated with folks of a certain age really heavily. There's a scene near the end where Justice Smith goes back to watch The Big Opaque, and the version that's up on streaming is just a bunch of kiddie nonsense that looks completely different. And that was a feeling that I don't know if other generations have ever actually felt that in real life. But I had that experience trying to show a bunch of friends Crybaby Lane, and it's one of those things you never, a feeling that you never think would be up on the big screen in a theater. And there was a lot of that, and I Saw the TV Glow. As a person who's not, trans, I imagine for others there were 100 more moments like that. But I can see why, based on just guesses about, who voted in this, I can totally see why it took first place. Yeah, it's a great fucking movie.
Obviously, I'm happy about this. It's my favorite movie of last year. It's well deserved. It was brilliantly written. It was well directed. I did just double check my ballot. Apparently, I voted Denis Villeneuve for first place in director. I probably stand by that, but my favorite picture of last year was I Saw the TV Glow. Jane Schroben was my second favorite directing performance. I loved it. I loved I Saw the TV Glow. It was brilliant. You heard me almost cry about it a few minutes ago. Hold on. Hello? Oh, really? Oh, if you carry the one. Okay. No, thank you for letting me know.
Good bit.
There's been a mistake. Uncut Gems won in every category!
Finally. Recognition it deserves.
That was Adam Sandler letting me know. The Sandman himself just called to let me know what's up.
I'd like to thank the Academy and God.
And also Jesus.
And also, my bit collapsed because I forgot the NBA player's name that's in it.
You know, that's fine. His name's Kevin Garnett.
Kevin
but you
Garnett.
know who else you should thank?
Who?
You!
Good.
The person watching / listening to the 2025 Bomb Squad Awards show. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. This was our first time doing it live. It was over 2 hours long. Wow. We hope you enjoyed. Doing this live was a lot of fun. I think we'll be doing it like this in the future still. There was a kinetic energy. It was fun. So if you're listening to this on the audio platforms, thank you so much for listening. I recommend you watch it. There's a big visual element to this, but if you're listening, thank you so much for listening. How about you mosey on down over to our Patreon? The $5 reward tier gets you access to commentary tracks. We just released one for Swiss Army Man. We're going to be releasing one soon for the director's cut of the 2003 Daredevil movie. We have plenty more we want to record. You get at least one of those commentary tracks a month. And if you subscribe to the $10 tier, you get a shout out at the end of the episode. So my mom, Tanya Kraft, thank you so much for contributing to Bomb Squad and helping me get ever so closer to not losing money on this production company every month. And if you are watching on YouTube, thank you so very much for watching the 2025 Bomb Squad Awards. How about you mosey on down to the comment section below and let me know, what did you think of the nominees? What did you think of the winners? Are you surprised by some of the winners? Are you surprised by some of the nominees? How about the 3 ties we had for winners? The 3-way tie in horror was crazy.
Absolutely.
What was your favorite leading performance of last year? What was your favorite supporting performance of last year? And of course, what was your favorite movie of last year? Comment below and let me know.
Gems.
That's good. Yes, correct. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you again so very much for watching. Tune in next time when we should, if I remember correctly, be covering Captain America: Brave New World. We're going from the best of movies of last year to the new Captain America movie. Should be a lot of fun, so make sure you tune in. We'll see you then. Bye!
They slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."